So here are 10 more financial lessons that everybody can learn from the hit TV series Breaking Bad. It's both fun and informative. Let's get into it.
We take it to the lab. They come back, they tell us it is the purest they've ever seen.
99.1%.
I mean, our chemist is blown away. He said he couldn't do the same thing better. Thinking Albuquerque just might have a new kingpin.
Would be to tread lightly.
Number 1, recognize your value. Walter White's in-depth knowledge of chemistry he uses to his advantage, which sets him apart from other people in the drug trade.
How pure can pure be?
Well, it can be pretty darn pure.
They come back, they tell us it is the purest they've ever seen.
99.1%. I can guarantee you purity of 96%. I'm proud of that figure. It's a hard-earned figure, 96. However, this other product is 99. That last 3%, it may not sound like a lot, but it is. It's tremendous.
Yours is just some tepid, off-brand, generic cola. What I'm making is classic Coke.
He's able to cook a higher-priced methamphetamine, which he's able to peddle at a higher price and is recognized for his superior quality. The lesson? Leverage your unique skills and experience to increase your earnings potential. Whether this be at a job, starting a freelance business, whatever the case may be, you want to leverage your skills and your unique experience so you increase and bring in the most money that you can. Number 2, don't over leverage yourself financially. Walter goes out and purchases, well, Jesse does, a $7,000 RV in order to cook methamphetamine, even though he has no real financial cushion.
Buy the RV.
Supposed to use that dude's money to buy an RV. I can hook you up, bro. I can totally get you an RV. No, I need it today. Now, no problem. Let's go. You tell me you can get me an RV for $1,400 at 6 in the morning.
Too bad Jesse didn't actually put the money towards an RV and instead bought a used one pretty much illegally for $1,400.
The lesson? Avoid large financial commitments that you really can't afford. Carefully consider your options and always have a backup plan and think purchases through carefully. Well, obviously, right? Assess affordability before making big purchases. Number 3, understand the consequences of debt. Skylar realizes that, well, Walter's treatment is going to cost a lot of money and they have no real financial buffer for this. They have to carefully assess their financial situation and consider the long-term implications.
You know, $90,000 out of pocket, maybe more.
There's a way, Walt. There's financing. There's installment plans. I could always go back to work.
This highlights their lack of preparation for such an event.
From here on out, I mean, things are gonna...
What's that we're putting on a credit card?
It's just a deposit kind of thing.
How much of a deposit?
It's $5,000.
$5,000? I'll take care of the deposit. I'll borrow it from my pension.
The lesson? Debt can quickly spiral out of control without proper planning and insurance, so always try to have a buffer in place. Hey, do me a favor, if you feel like you're getting something out of this video, would you hit the like button and leave me a comment saying, well, whatever you want. Hi, your favorite Breaking Bad episode, doesn't matter. Any investment portfolio questions you might have, doesn't matter to me. I'd actually love to hear from you. Number 4, don't underestimate opportunity cost. Jesse goes around collecting small little bits of debt owed. He even hits, burnt out drug house trying to collect just a little bit more money where his time could be better spent on other efforts that are more fruitful.
Where's the kid? The kid, the little kid!
What are you asking me for?
There's little financial gain here from collecting small debts owed. I think Jesse could put his efforts towards more fruitful activities. The lesson? Don't waste your time, effort, or money on something that you'll get little reward from. Always consider the return on investment for your time. Number 5, the importance of long-term vision. Having vision and insight is good because, well, Gus offers Walter $3 million for, well, 3 months of his time. And Walter hesitates because of his pride and ego.
I'm done. Making a change in my life is what it is, and I'm at something of a crossroads. I am not a criminal.
I'd like you to hear my offer, notwithstanding.
It won't change my mind, I'm sorry.
$3 million for 3 months of your time.
3 million?
Have a long-term vision and plan for your future. It's actually been proven in case studies where someone is walking through a crowd, right? And if they're walking aimlessly, like no direction, they don't know where they're going, people, get in their way and everything. But if a person gets into a crowd and they have clear direction, focus, and they're walking straight with determination, people actually part and get out of their way because they're like, oh, whoa, this guy's going somewhere, or this lady, move aside, step aside, they're on a mission. It's been proven. Studies have shown that people will actually get out of the way for someone who knows where they're going. And on that note, in case we haven't met, I'm Aaron, a 20-year corporate accountant and analyst. I discuss personal investing, finance, investment portfolios, etc. I've been investing for a number of years and I have a pretty good idea what I'm talking about. If this all sounds like something you'd be interested in, consider subscribing to my channel. People often avoid investing, budgeting, because, well, at the start, it's just a hassle, right? You got forms to read and set up and everything. But once you get that ball rolling, you notice each day, week becomes easier and easier, and pretty soon it just becomes habit. Don't underestimate the power of small micro habits and daily changes. Number 6, protect your assets. Walter has no real plan for his money. He doesn't know where he's going to put it. He ends up sticking it in a shoebox and, stuffing it into the vent and everything like that. He doesn't know where to allocate his assets and how to keep them safe.
Hey! Hey, pal. What's up? Oh, I thought I heard mice.
Use legal assets and systems to secure your assets and keep them protected. A little bit of planning could have gone a long way. Walter could have deposited the money into, a safety deposit box. Just a thought. Number 7, know when to walk away. Walter stayed in the drug business a lot longer than he originally planned to, and he kept reinvesting the profits back into the business when he should have been trying to get out, because originally he was only supposed to be in there for a few months, just long enough to scrape up some money for him and his family to live on and be financially free. So know when to walk away and call it quits.
A man provides for his family.
This costs me my family.
When you have children, you always have family. They will always be your priority, your responsibility. And a man provides. And he does it even when he's not appreciated.
Are using math. You keep your market here, but by adding overseas sales, you can more than double your current profits. And I checked, the average purity is only about 60%. They've never seen anything like your product. You'll blow their hair back.
Greed often blinds people. Maybe they got into something with one intention, but suddenly they start seeing dollar signs and they get led down the path of doing something else.
In 2009, Bernie Madoff pleaded guilty to what is likely the largest financial scam in history. The one-time Wizard of Wall Street ran a $65 billion scheme.
Wall Street fraud who masterminded the largest Ponzi scheme in history is going to spend the rest of his life behind bars.
Wall Street's biggest swindler ever, now behind bars.
There are no safeguards against aggressive human overexpansion. So keep that in mind and always keep what your original financial goals were in the back of your mind.
No, because there are safeguards. Against aggressive overexpansion, there aren't, because there are no safeguards in human nature. And we're wired to overreach.
Number 8, diversification is key. Walter puts all of his eggs in one basket, you could say, rather than diversifying and spreading out his risk, helping to reduce his risk and prepare for any fluctuations in the market. A real-world example of this? Think of an investor who invests 100% of their asset allocation into tech. Well, that can be good if the tech sector is performing well. However, if there's a downturn, suddenly it's not so good. They would have been much better off if they only put 20% into technology. and 30% in consumer goods, 30% into pharmaceuticals, and 20% into oil and gas, energy and mining. Number 9, have an exit strategy. Walter orchestrates the famous train robbery with him, Jesse, and Todd, and they try to steal methylamine, but they have no real plan what they do if they get caught. Same thing with Walter has no plan of, well, how he's going to eventually get out of the drug business.
I'm not saying you should do that, anything illegal.
But always have an exit strategy of how maybe you're going to leave your job, what you're going to do if your business does well, what you're going to do with your investments, how you're going to start withdrawing from your funds, your RSP, etc. Always have a plan in place that you're looking further down the road thinking, okay, how am I going to withdraw these funds? What am I going to do if this investment goes south? You know, you have to consider all these possibilities.
Walter orchestrates a train robbery to acquire methylamine, which creates more problems than solutions as they're forced to cover up their tracks. The sheer intense moment of the scene, the Good Samaritan that shows up, and the climatic build-up illustrates that even the best plans, even though well thought out, can still go wrong.
One thing I noticed is, did anybody ever really like Todd? Like, I didn't. The guy was a psycho. Like, the actor played him well, but he was a psycho. Who could like that guy? I had my favorite guy, and I think you can guess who it is.
I chose a half measure when I should have gone all the way. I'll never make that mistake again. And it just rubbed me wrong.
Way. Mike is cool. Mike is the... He's awesome. And drum roll, number 10, know the value of your reputation. Walter insists on people calling him Heisenberg, further cementing his success in the drug industry. It's driven by fear and greed and a certain prestige of quality. He uses this to his advantage.
Who are you?
I'm the man who's keeping it.
What the hell's this? We had an agreement, right? We got our deal, so where's the tank, Mike?
Mike doesn't know where it is. Only I do. You're dealing with me now, not him.
At the start of Breaking Bad, Walter White is a timid, morally conflicted high school teacher driven by desperation. Whereas by the final season, as Heisenberg, he has transformed into a ruthless, power-hungry criminal mastermind who demands fear and respect.
That's right. Now, say my name.
Heisenberg.
The lesson? Your reputation can be a powerful tool, whether this is getting a loan because of your credit score, getting a job because of what you're known and who knows you and what you're known for. Leverage that to your advantage to maximize your earning potential. Think of a freelancer who is well known and trying to, well, drum up business. If they can show some of the stuff they've done or if they've worked with high profile clients, well, that's all the better. That's why so many people want to say, well, I've worked for the Magnificent Seven, say, Microsoft, Tesla, Apple, because their reputation is so well known throughout the world. The same thing applies, right? If you're really good at what you do, you can start commanding a better salary. And one tip I'll give you is when you go in for a job interview and you start negotiating, don't always take the first offer and don't take everything that's thrown at you. If you're really valuable, employers will see that. Like if you'd be like,
oh, shucks, guys, I'll take whatever you offer me. I'm happy to get whatever I can.
Then people start wondering, is this person really worth it? Whereas if you can stick up for yourself and back up your claims, what you're saying, you are so much more valuable. That's what I do in job interviews is, well, I am very good at what I do, but you're going to pay for that. I know my value and I'm not just going to give out my talents.
One bonus tip is know your numbers. Whether you plan to be on Shark Tank pitching an idea to the sharks or are planning to negotiate a raise, you are perceived as much more creditable, have market awareness, and understand your value if you can back up your numbers.
Extrapolating, I added the extra revenues for hand waxes and detailing, subtracted your overhead and salary, maintenance, operating fees, depreciation, which I obtained from comparable businesses in the Albuquerque area, giving me an estimate of your annual cash flow.
One thing I want to leave you with is Walter White made choices that affected his life far more than the cancer ever would, right? Even if he kept the cancer, his life and legacy would have been so much better. And that's what I try to preach on this channel, is just small daily improvements, micro habit changes can have an enormous impact over the years. To quote Rocky, nobody's going to hit you as hard as life. But the question is whether you can get back up and keep fighting. So like I said, I'm a 20-year Canadian corporate accountant and analyst living in Western Canada. I talk about portfolio investments, personal finance, and investing. If this all sounds like something you'd be interested in, consider subscribing to my channel. So that's a wrap. I hope you enjoyed these 10 financial tips inspired by Breaking Bad. If you're curious about financial goals at the age of 40 and where you should be financially, you'll want to check out this next video here. And if you're wondering, should I make an RSP contribution or an extra mortgage payment on my house? Well, that's a great question, and here's a video that I think you'll really enjoy.